Big sad. I was actually wanting to play this game before the whole leak and direct stuff happened, and the rumors gave me a reason to play it even more, and then it made me that much sadder when it was deconfirmed. I'm so sad. Power bread. Kinda crazy it's been 10 days already though. I didn't realize that. I don't remember if there's anything we can do here yet. I don't think so. I think we need to come back here later. Yeah. Sakurai. Although Sakurai did say, no, maybe he said DLC. No, he was talking about the DLC actually. When he said that Nintendo chose all of the DLC. So I guess he could have technically probably added him if he wanted to into the base game, but he didn't, so. I don't know. We'll just have to hope that him being added as an assist trophy again means that there's another sequel / remake in the works. Surely, with the whole re-adding him as an assist trophy and also what's the word you use? Rebranding or renewing, that's the word, renewing the trademark early. Surely they did that for a reason. If not for Smash, then for something else. That's the hope at least. Think how cool it would have been like if they made like Isaac with Felix as a Echo. That would have been so cool. Yeah, I mean, I could see it happening. Like, they've had weird things where characters have been both stage elements and playable characters, like with Toon Link. So I could see technically possibly like having an assist trophy that's also playable, or maybe if they they replaced his assist trophy with like Matthew when they make the DLC, or they could just make Matthew the DLC, but I feel like that wouldn't be as likely. Yeah, that's true too, because one of the big reasons that certain characters are deconfirmed or confirmed for the base roster have to do with when, whether or not they were, when the planning for the game starts. So like the reason that Rex from Xenoblade 2 was is just a Mii Fighter costume, is because by the time they started planning for Smash Ultimate, they hadn't finalized his design, or the game hadn't been announced yet, something along those lines. So it's certainly possible and I would be really happy if they did do that, which, you know, I could see Sakurai doing that. It's just one of the things that he likes to do is get old, obscure franchises, which, I mean, I wouldn't call Gold Sun completely obscure compared to some of the choices he's made in the past, but it'd just make me happy if he did. I would love if he made that exception. I remember when the leaks were coming out, and me and a couple of my friends were really convinced that they were real, and so we were trying to come up with like a moveset for Isaac, and it's just really cool thinking of all the possibilities that they could do. I mean, just thinking like how they could try to implement his the Jin system, as well as, you know, all the Synergy. And then maybe making his final smash be, I mean, he's just got so many options for his final smash as well. He would just be a really good fighter, and he'd be like a really unique sword fighter as well. Something kind of similar to like Robin. That's what I would think. And oh, the Frost Jewel. See, this is the thing, like the weird thing about the Frost Jewel. That leak was so convincing. Yeah, that leak is basically the reason that I'm never going to trust a leak ever again. I mean, we had that whole thing with the Raymond leak a few years ago, but, I mean, this one just had so much more than even that, and then it turned out to be fake. I'm still waiting for the creator of the recent leak to release the full unblurry art that he made, or he/she made. Yeah, I'd just really like to see that Isaac portrait that he made, or art that he made. Yeah, if the leak had happened earlier, then that could have been possible, but nah. And the thing was, all the speculation going around, and the, you know, on YouTube, people making the best excuses they could as to why certain aspects of the leak that didn't match up completely were like, could have been covered, like how some insider said that they had seen Incineroar before. One of the videos I watched was saying that what they had seen was a prior build where Incineroar was planned to be in the base game, but then they had changed him to DLC in order to make time to implement Banjo and Kazooie. And that one made so much sense to me when I heard it, and I was like, there has to be a real leak. And everything just matched up, and then... And even when the trailer, or the direct started, and Ken was like the first thing to be announced, I was like, dude, this is so real, and then it wasn't real. It was sad. I think I cried for a solid 10 minutes. I guess one thing they could have done is they could have changed the direct a little bit to put Ken at the beginning, in order to mislead us for just, 5 more seconds. That could have been like a possible thing if they did. Yeah, the thing is, like, I like Pokemon. I'm not the biggest fan, but it's like, is Incineroar really that much more, like, is he really that popular? Were people really wanting, and of course, who was asking for Piranha Plant? So that's what my question is. Like, he looks like a pretty unique character and all that, but seriously, it's just a generic enemy from Mario. I mean, I'll respect Sakurai's decisions, but still, it does feel like kind of a... The thing that bothered me the most was that they waited this long to reveal Isaac as an assist trophy. And so, you know, it kind of got our hopes up because just everything kind of made sense that he would be a playable fighter if they waited this long to announce him as a assist trophy. And yeah, it kind of felt like Sakurai was fighting the Golden Sun community there. Yeah, I played Sun and Moon, and I was a big fan of Decidueye in a lot of ways. I liked his typing being Grass and Ghost, I believe. Or it was Grass and Flying, and then when he became Decidueye, he got Ghost type, which I thought was really cool. And I liked how all his different evolution stages kind of had like different themes. Like you had the regular owl at first with a little bow tie, and then next he was kind of like a butler, and then he's eventually like an archer. I thought that was really cool. And I feel like Decidueye could have had a pretty unique moveset compared to Incineroar. Yeah. Actually, I didn't even know that he was Fire Dark. I thought he was firefighting, so you've actually just informed me about that. I'm guessing his moveset probably doesn't focus on Dark very much. And probably his stats more similar to those of, you know, the what's the name of the firefighting monkey from Gen 4? I can't remember right now. The evolution of Chimchar. Because I believe that was when the whole firefighting started, or was it with Blaziken? I don't remember. I used to be really big into Pokemon, honestly. I never got competitive with it, but yeah. Really? So he doesn't have a single Dark type move? That seems kind of weird. Or are you talking about in Smash? His moveset in Smash is completely... I just realized we got Ragnarok. I didn't realize we had unlocked that. My favorite looking move in like the entire series. Yeah, in Smash, okay. Yeah, I figured that'd be weird if they made his typing Dark and he didn't have any Dark types of moves in the game. Yeah, that is kind of disappointing that they would just make his move all based on firefighting. I guess there's also, since the recent Pokemon they added in the last game was water, and then this one is the grass, or not the grass, the fire. They might have a water in the next game, assuming there's another Smash after this. Yeah, and I mean, I guess we can't expect Sakurai to like always think about every single fandom like of wanted characters, but it did seem like kind of a spiteful thing just to lead us up to, you know, thinking that he was going to be in, and then just nonchalantly right at the very last direct be like, oh, he's just an assist trophy. And I feel like they did the exact same thing to the Sonic fandom with Shadow. Like they gave all the hints, like how they took out, well, supposedly they thought that they took out his assist trophy, and then they put Knuckles in, and then they introduced the Echo Fighter like brand or, you know, character trait, And it just kind of seemed like everything matched up for Shadow to be in, because he was the perfect Echo Fighter, and he was supposedly going to be replaced by Knuckles, even though now they're both assist trophies. So, yeah, exactly. It was just dirty, or at least it felt like that. And I mean, as I said, I can't expect Sakurai to think of everybody when he makes those directs, assuming he's the one who even writes them. But it does seem pretty spiteful towards the community. It's very dirty. Especially since he was like in, after they announced like Shadow and then the Fatal Frame character, he was like the very first one that they announced in sort of like the little trailer that showed all of them. So it kind of made you think that they at least thought about it. That and there's also the hint that Sakurai made with the Rathalos, and it was like Marth and Link and someone else fighting Rathalos, and it looked like the Golden Sun battle. Oh, that one really got me too. I was like, this has to be it. Like, I was literally 100% convinced that Isaac was going to be in, and that's why it made me so sad. Probably turn down my Discord. So, okay, that should be better. Did we come from this? Oh, we came from this over here. Oops. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because he was absent in Smash 4. I can't remember if they took out the Golden Sun music that they had in Brawl. Like if they had actually taken that out in Smash 4. But I felt like if they were going, you know, to bring him back as an assist trophy, they should at least announce him early, like, oh, we brought Isaac back, by the way, not till the very end. And it could, of course, been that they had started developing him last, but... yeah, I mean, if you watch like all the reaction, like the YouTuber reactions to Piranha Plant, you can just tell that like even when Piranha Plant showed up and like attacked Mario, like no one was expecting that that was actually a character. They're just kind of like, oh, what's Piranha Plant doing here? You know, not, oh, Piranha Plant and Smash. Even when it was like Piranha Plant, you know, pipes in or whatever his, you know, thing was, everyone was just kind of like, wait, what? Is this a character? Or is this like, is this a joke? Oh, I see what we did. We drained the water. What am I thinking? I was trying to think. I got distracted, I guess. But yeah, Isaac's the one who I voted for in the ballot for Smash 4. And the thing with Smash 4 that kind of got me with like the whole ballot thing was, you know, they took Isaac out, and it made me think that they were planning to add him as DLC in Smash 4, and everything kind of lined up then as well. I think I even made a thread about it at one point, kind of like, here's all the evidence I have towards Isaac being in, or, you know, a DLC character, and then that never happened, so... I want to say they did keep the Golden Sun music, like they made the Doom Dragon and the Felix battle theme. Oh, dude, I'm sure. I watched a few reactions too, and every time Isaac showed up, even if the YouTuber wasn't a Golden Sun fan, they were just kind of like, oh, poor Golden Sun community. So, yeah, that same thing happened to me. I was like, I saw Isaac show up, and I realized, oh, this is the assist trophy section. No. No. At least his new model looks really good. Like I always thought the model for him in Brawl looked kind of weird, like the proportions weren't right, and then of course Brawl had that weird art style where they tried to make all the textures really realistic. And so I thought, you know, the only 3D model we have, our official 3D model of this version of Isaac that we have, was that weird one from Brawl. It is kind of nice having the new one, even if it is an assist trophy. And I mean, think on the bright side at the very least, if this increases the chances of anything Golden Sun related being released anytime soon, I'm at least kind of happy about that. Yeah, that's true. Golden Sun literally has, you know, nothing that's been released in like... When was Dark Dawn released? Was it 10 years ago at this point? It was probably released by 2008. Maybe. So we haven't really had anything official about Golden Sun in close to 10 years. So Smash is really all we do have to hope for. That's the thing I love about the Golden Sun community, is we've literally got nothing for 10 years, and the Isaac fans are still loyal. And the Golden Boys are still loyal to our Golden Boy Isaac. I was looking for like artwork earlier for like, you know, thumbnails and everything, and I was like, one thing that the Golden Sun community needs a lot more of is like really quality fan art, because it is kind of lacking, and you can make some really good art. 8 years ago? Okay. Alright, yeah, I do remember that Dark Dawn came out pretty late, or mid to late. Well, actually, 3DS came out in 2011, so that is pretty late in the DS's lifespan, isn't it? Still, that's close to 10 years. I mean, it could be anything Golden related. Golden Sun related. They could do like, I don't know. It doesn't even have to be a new game. It could be like a spin-off. Just anything to bring recognition to the series. I'm good. I just want something. Give us some new artwork, or I want to know what happened at the end of Dark Dawn. Even though the story in that game didn't really invest me as much as the first two, I'm still curious about what happens. Because they, dude, I was thinking about that the other day, the whole remake thing. Like, I was watching the final boss fight of at Lost Age, and I was like, just this would be so cool in 3D, you know? If they made a 3D remake. Yeah, exactly. Just like, oh, I want... And like all the you know, the synergy and the summons and the Jin and all that, like, even on the Game Boy Advance, the animations look really good. Like, Ragnarok and Odyssey are still like some of my favorite animations in like any game ever. And they could look really good in like a 3D remake. I mean, the thing is also with like a lot of the bosses and enemies, you can tell that they only have about 3 frames of animation during like their idle animations. Even like the final boss, I think, has like just a few frames because there's so many enemies they had to animate. And like for the Game Boy Advance, these are pretty good or detailed sprites. Just if they could make those, 3D and successfully capture the style that the original had, it could just look really good, I think. Especially on Switch, or, I could see them putting it on 3DS, but I hope they don't. I still am sad about the Luigi's Mansion remake being 3DS only, but that's beside the point. Yeah, it was really weird timing, and it was not only that it was close to the Rathalos, reveal or that tweet. It was that it was like over. It was like 2 or 3 years early, right? Like they didn't have to actually renew it for another 2 or 3 years, from what I remember. And so it was, and I think with some of the other characters that were in the leak, they had also renewed their trademarks early. Like, who else was in the leak? It was Gino, Ken, Isaac, Mock Rider, Skull Kid, supposedly. But I think they updated the trademark for Mock Rider at some point. Yeah, because from what I heard, the Dark Dawn didn't sell quite as well as the first two games, and so they said if they're going to make a sequel / remake or anything else in the future, they needed, fan demand. And if I remember, the Japanese Smash Ballot polls, he was pretty high up on the, he was up there with Gino and a lot of the other popular requests, which really surprised me because, even then it had been 5 or 6 years back then since the Dark Dawn came out, and Isaac was still really high up there. So, he still has his fans, even this many years later, me included, but so I think the demand has been there. I don't know why we haven't gotten anything yet. Come on, Camelot. Make something other than Mario Tennis, please. That can only decay rule. I think maybe what I saw was the popular characters after the new ones that had been revealed were taken into account, and he was number 1, so it's probably that one since K. Rool had been announced. He's even above Shantae and Bandana D, and I think even Banjo-Kazooie even. Really surprised me. So I guess he's really popular in Japan, which, I think they take into their Japanese fan base into account before the Western fan base, because a lot of the choices that they have made in the past have been more based on what the Japanese fans want than the Western fans. Which from a marketing standpoint, or a business standpoint, seems kind of weird, but... Yeah, I'm sure they want a break from Mario Tennis 3 times in a row. What else? I know Camelot, they make a few of... They might make the Mario Golf or something? They make a lot of the Mario Sports spin-off games. But what else do they really do? I mean, surely they want to do something other than that. This makes me wonder if the team that worked on the original Golden Suns, like if much of the team is still there. I hope so. I don't know, it's just, I always come back to this game. There's something about it. It's like, GBA games, I feel like not all of them have aged particularly well. Maybe it's something about the sound card not being very powerful, but something about the style of this game. The music had a really unique style, the battle system was enticing, puzzle systems were nice. It's just, I always come back to it. It's just a work of art in my opinion. And so I just don't want to see the franchise just die, you know. Because I feel like even though they made some mistakes with Dark Dawn, you know, the series still has potential to do fine with a reboot of some sort, a sequel, a remake. Just, you know, don't make those same mistakes that Dark Dawn had, and we'll be good. Don't make those pointless point of no returns. And yeah, I know, like, especially you can tell with all the remakes that they made of SNES games, since this was supposed to be like a portable SNES, you know, it had pretty similar specs. So they remade games like Link to the Past, and in Japan they had a Mother 2 or Earthbound remake, and you can just tell how inferior the music is to those originals. But the Golden Sun soundtrack is somehow really good. I don't know, I feel like it pushed that sound card to its limits. I mean, I've heard plenty of GBA games that just don't do very good with the music. Oh yeah. I mean, that's the thing with a lot of these games that, you know, people try to say, you know, this game in the franchise did better than this one because of this reason, but usually it does just come down to marketing and advertising, how the company advertises it. Like with Fire Emblem, I feel like the only reason, you know, people always say Fire Emblem Awakening saves the franchise. I feel like the only reason it sold as well as it did was just because Nintendo marketed it correctly. And if they could do that with a Golden Sun remake and or sequel, I mean, they could easily make the game sell really well. It's all about the marketing, that is for certain. Yeah, it's just, I feel like the Dark Dawn just did a really bad number on the franchise as a whole, because Golden Sun 1 and 2 sold really well, and they're pretty much considered, you know, within the top, I don't know, 20, sometimes even 15 GBA games. People have memories with this game, but whenever you talk about the series, a lot of people just seem to remember Dark Dawn and how bad it was. Which really, I've played through Dark Dawn, I think 2 times, and other than those points of no return and having pretty insufferable amount of dialogue, it wasn't that bad. It just doesn't compare to 1 and especially 2. And I don't know, I just have really fond memories of the franchise. So I want to remember the sales numbers. Actually, I think the first game sold really well. So there's a lot of people out there that would actually recognize this game as a thing. Would recognize, you know, Isaac, or if they made a remake, they would recognize that. I think a lot of people make the series out to be more obscure than it really is, as well. Oh yeah, 2 million. That's pretty considerable for a, you know, Nintendo franchise that's not Mario. Like, you know, not Mario or Zelda. It's actually pretty good. Like, I think even the Fire Emblem Shadows of Valentia, that didn't sell 2 million. Sold much less. I got down from here. Okay, yeah. There's a chest over there. Yeah, that's true. I mean, even then, it wasn't in the really high millions. Like, I think Fates might have sold 3 million. I could be wrong on that, but to think that Smash or Fire Emblem has Marth, Roy, Robin, Chrom, Lucina, Ike, and I'm sure I'm missing some others. And that's just for, you know, a few of the games selling 2 or 3 million. You know, you got Golden Sun 1 sold 2 million. I'm sure Lost Age sold at least 1 million. And there's not a single, you know, not a single representative from Golden Sun. Just doesn't make sense. Where is the... I'm kind of glad. I am a Fire Emblem fan, but I am really glad that they're only adding, you know, Chrom in the new game. Like, we don't need that many. We don't need a bunch of more Fire Emblem fighters. I'm glad they're not. Oh, Corrin. I'm missing Corrin. That's right. I need to reset my gym. Let's see. I always thought Fire Emblem was weird because I think they have more representatives than even like the Zelda series. Because Zelda just has, in the new game, has Link, Young Link, Ganon, Zelda, Sheik, Toon Link. Yeah, I think Nintendo probably regrets not putting him in Brawl or Smash 4. Probably Brawl, because at that point it was still a pretty popular series, which, I mean, it still is. Obviously we got people wanting it, but now maybe they don't feel that it would be as worth it to bring it back now as it would have been then. I feel like he should have been in Brawl as a playable. Nintendo kind of missed that opportunity. Sometimes I just like to think, like, when I'm playing, like, oh, this would be such a cool move in Smash 2. One of the cool moves that one of my friends and I were thinking of was like if he, had the Excalibur as one of his moves, and like how in the game it shoots anywhere between 3 to 5, I don't know what you call them, like little spikes at the enemy, and like you could charge that up and like it kind of make it like an angled projectile attack. That would just be such a cool move. I just know Sakurai would know how to make that work. Would not do that. I have to deal with that inventory later. Where am I going? I'm going back this way, aren't I? The thing is, like, him being an assist trophy now, like confirmed in his assist trophy, it's just like, it makes it harder to think that he could be in this DLC, but yeah, that's true. That is true. Like, because I know they did that with Melee. They were originally planning to put Lucas in instead of Ness and just have him replace Ness as a playable. And the reason they didn't do that was because Mother 3 was just canceled and delayed so many times, and I guess eventually they just decided to put Ness in instead. And that might have been what they were planning with Isaac, is maybe, if Dark Dawn does well, we'll put Matthew in. And then Dark Dawn didn't do that well. So they didn't put Matthew in. I would like to revisit Dark Dawn and just try to, take it in as it for what it is, and try to think of all the things that it did wrong. Because it wasn't an awful game, it's just, it didn't feel like, Golden Sun. It had just those key things missing, and it made those just major mistakes that could have easily been avoided. Rip Isaac and Smash, it's sad. I still cry every day. Still have my dreams, I guess. My dreams that someday my golden boy will finally make his triumphant return. Armor. What a chainmail here. What's new? Yeah, I don't need it. Yeah, I guess a lot of people maybe don't take into consideration just the fact that companies can make, mistakes. Like they might actually have, regret that they didn't put Isaac in Smash and try to give him more representation. Maybe if they ever do reveal. Dude, me too. I will have like a heart attack right there. Like wherever I'm watching it, they'll have to wheel me out on an ambulance because I think I'll just go crazy. Pure heart attack. Dude, yeah. I mean, ugh. Just seeing my reaction to him being an assist trophy, like that was pretty insane enough. Satasto. Satasto. Sawaruto. Yeah, I mean, I tend to have some pretty insane reactions to some of the things Nintendo reveals, and that would probably be my top reaction compared, maybe just behind the Majora's Mask 3D reveal. Like, that one almost killed me, I think, but... Hey, watch out for the big gay. Okay, I'll watch out. That might be the final boss, actually. The big gay. Nah, just kidding. Yeah, there's plenty of disappointing Nintendo Directs that do make me depressed. To go back to what I said earlier, one of the recent ones that kind of got me down was the, oh, here's Luigi's Mansion remake, but it's on 3DS. Okay. And then sometimes they just announce literally nothing that anyone cares about. Like the E3, it was the E3 a few years ago when they announced Mario and Luigi Paper Jam. I remember that year being particularly just bad. Like their direct, they just announced literally nothing that anyone cared about. It makes me wonder, like, some of the games that they do announce and they hype up, it's like, do they actually think that, like, do people actually buy some of these games, is what I want to know. I mean, I guess some people do, but I don't know. It all just comes back to Golden Sun being missed opportunity, all due to, you know, Nintendo and Camelot not taking advantage of the huge fan base that is still loyal almost a decade after the last game came out. It just really surprises me that Nintendo's, I don't know, maybe they know something that we don't, I don't know, but also we unlocked Flywell, which I think heals a lot more than anything we need right now, so it's the same with like the vials. It's just they heal so much that they're not even going to be useful for quite a while. I tend to not use that many healing items in this game. I mostly just rely on spells, though. How much does it heal again? 200. I mean, I guess that is actually not bad. That's pretty good. One of the things I love about Golden Sun that, I mean, I guess some RPGs do some similar things to it, but not in the same straightforward way that Golden Sun does, is like the class system where, you know, you can mix and match the Djinn however you want to and create, you know, dozens of just possible unique classes with lots of different, you know, spells that you can only see in that class, and they have so much different utility. And it's just so straightforward, but you're never required to use it in any way. And it just gives it a lot of replay value too. Just playing through the game with a different set of classes. It's just really fun. And I'm actually kind of disappointed that I haven't taken advantage of it as much in previous playthroughs, because I usually actually stick to the base classes. Oh, that was another one of the things that one of my friends was talking about with, the possible move set was like having something kind of similar to Shulk's Monado arts with the different elemental types, with like the Venus and the Mercury and the Mars and everything. Somehow implementing that would be really cool. And then if like Felix was an Echo Fighter or like semi-clone or something similar to Isaac, it's kind of cool thinking of what they could change with Felix to make him, different. Because while they are similar characters, I feel like they could do something to reflect Felix's character as an Echo Fighter if they ever did that. Which, asking for two representatives from Golden Sun might be asking for a bit much, but it would be really cool if they did, though. Excuse me. Spritz. Yes, this game is fun. That is why I'm still playing it. Oh, we got Wish. Nice. That is a very useful spell. So to those of you like you who don't really know what this game is really deals with, it's like an RPG for the Game Boy that has really unique battle system, and the story isn't the most interesting of any RPG game, but the gameplay kind of follows a bit of like a Zelda formula with puzzle solving, and you use different types of magic in the overworld to complete puzzles and find different paths. And the second game in the series is also on the Game Boy, and you use like either a password or a link cable to transfer your save data to the second game, and it basically just continues off the story from where the first one ends. So kind of think of it like a disc 1 and a disc 2. It has a really good soundtrack, really memorable characters. Chrono Trigger plus Link to the Past. Minus the time traveling, I guess you could say so. Oh wait, we just came from here. What am I thinking? I just don't know where I'm going, I guess. Guess we'll go this way. Yeah, it does follow the kind of the 2D Zelda style gameplay, but it actually has a lot of elements that those games don't even have. Alright, dude, have fun playing Terraria. I'll probably be seeing that, or playing some of that tomorrow. If you want to watch the stream or even join in, you can. See you later, dude. Ah, didn't get the second one. Yeah, I think Nathan and I are going to play that tomorrow on stream. So if you want to join in, you're perfectly welcome to. The more players, the better. So yeah, I'll let you know when we plan on streaming that in the Discord. I just realized I never, which gin did we get? We got Corona and, did we miss one? Oh no, we got missed, okay. Cool. I love this part. I love how he runs around the rocks here. Music too. Wakes me up. It's a short little song for that too. I don't think that song is used for anything else. Alright, now we can go down and fight the boss and finish this dungeon. Hopefully I didn't miss anything. Let's go ahead and save. Boost defense first. Res. Okay, so that's like a group heal, kind of like the whiff spell that we just unlocked. Djinn form. Yes, this is a game. What about it? It's a pretty good game, I'll say that much. If you haven't played it before, I recommend it. Yes, it is a very good one. Let's see, fellow smart boy slash girl. I won't discriminate, but it's always so nice when you actually find another fan of the series, because they seem to be pretty quiet, but very supportive as well of this franchise. You know, they come out of the hiding when, you know, it's time for discussion about, you know, Isaac being in Smash. Then it's really hard to actually find a fan otherwise. But we're all chill guys. We just want to see our golden boy succeed. We all know that he deserves better. Thanks for the follow, Ace Turner. Feel free to join the Discord as well. It's linked down below if you want notifications about every stream, as well as links to the VODs that I upload. It's up to you though. Yeah, Melee is the best. It's a pretty good game. I suck at it though. Oh, did they take out... Wait, was he ever a Pokeball? Mr. Mime... What was his moveset be? Yeah, it's up to you. You don't have to join the Discord. I'm saying that I post announcements there for every time I stream, as well as links to the full streams that I post on YouTube. But I think you should get emails and notifications when I start streaming, so... Mr. Mime is a playable character. That'd be pretty interesting. I remember he's in Fire Red, I believe. There's a Mr. Mime. I think you trade it for an Abra. Bravely Default. I haven't played it. I played some of Octopath Traveler, which I heard is similar. I have played all of the Golden Sun games. Lost Age is my favorite of the three. What am I trying to heal here? Some people say that like Lost Age is a bit too like open or long, or just, I don't know, but I really enjoy it. What am I trying to do here? Ah, dude, really? Well, I'll have to check that out then. I have a 3DS, so that'd be kind of perfect. It is 3DS, right? And there was a Bravely Second just came out recently. Oh, really? Well, I hope you enjoy it. It's just a classic for me. I have so much nostalgia for it, but it's really a great game that I recommend to a lot of people. So, yeah, if you haven't played it yet and you're not wanting to be spoiled, then I'd suggest going and playing that now before you get spoiled on anything. Ah, so you played part of it before. I see. Oh, has it been up for a long time? Okay, I didn't know that. I thought it was recent. You're very welcome. I hope that the game can get a lot more recognition than it does, because it's a really, really good game that in recent years has just been forgotten by a lot of people. Alright, later, dude. Have fun with Golden Sun. I hope you enjoy it. I would go into more detail about, Dark Dawn as a whole, but I haven't played it in a few years. So I'd kind of like to give it another run through at some point. Because I think there's a lot of things that game did actually do well, and maybe even better than in some aspects. But, there's a reason it sold worse and got less reception. One of the many things being those fact that in where am I guess I forgot where I'm going again. I know where I'm going now. But if you haven't played the game before, basically the game has just as many Jinn as the second game does, being over double the amount as in the first. And there are just certain parts of the story where you're basically blocked access to areas that you went to previously. And so there's certain Jinn that if you don't get at the moment they're available... Am I poisoned or something? Oh, am I cursed? Oh, poisoned. Okay. Don't see that very often. But anyway, yeah, there's certain Jinn that you can just miss completely. And so if you don't play with a guide, you can just get screwed over on that. And it's just one of those things that you wonder why they ever thought it was a good idea. I think that's one of the biggest things that the game is pandered or hated on for. But there are a lot of things that I think the game actually did do pretty well. I felt like the ending sequence was actually pretty good too. It gave a bit more meaning to the Soul Blade as well, because in with the all-powerful weapons in the first two games, they're just kind of like, you just kind of get them in chests and they're not really that hyped up or anything. They kind of gave it a little bit more purpose in Dark Dawn, which I really appreciated. I'm trying to remember where that stone was that we could pick up with the lift stone. Find it. The thing I just hate the most about Dark Dawn is how the series is almost just kind of remembered for that specific game and how poorly it sold and was received, when there's so many aspects of the first two games and even parts of the third game that are really good. Oh, did I? I still think these animations and the sprite work are just really good. Especially some of the summoning animations from the second game. are just really awesome. Where is that chest? Don't remember. I'm gonna go ahead and use some sacred feathers to reduce encounters until we find it. Because I believe that's the only thing we really need to do here, is to find that chest. I've been in this room like 3 times. I just have a bad sense of direction, I guess. Just go in circles, basically. Ah, this music is so good. I swear these sacred feathers wear off so quickly. What was that? That's not where I was meaning to go. I meant to go up the ladder. Or... oh well, it's 2 a.m. I guess there's a reason I'm not thinking that well right now. I think maybe once I finish this area up, maybe that's when I'll go to bed. Is it up here? Is this where the chest is? Maybe? Maybe not. No, this is just where we were earlier. Gosh darn it. Let me go out this way. Maybe I'll find it. So it might have been up a level, now that I think about it. Here's where it was. Okay. All that work for nothing. It was just right here. Or was there a second one? There might have been a second one. Okay. It's over here. File. Kind of weird the sound for getting an item hadn't finished yet before the battle music started playing. It kind of screwed up. I haven't heard that very often. Oh, okay, that just leads up here, I guess. Huh. Interesting. I think we can lift this from here, can't we? No, I have to be over there. Well, need to go back to the town. Shoot, now that I've come through that exit, now when I use retreat, it's probably going to take me back to that exit, won't it? Actually, I know for sure it will. Oh, well. I think it's actually the exit's just right down here. Alright, actually, I think that's where I'm going to end the stream off for today. I think next stream I'll go and try to find that last chest that I think I missed in there. And then we will progress further in the story. So thanks to everyone who watched the stream tonight. And if you haven't followed already, you can go ahead and do that to get the notifications for when I stream next. And we'll continue from there. Thanks for watching.